everyone, we are from Group 6 and right now we'd like to present our discussion about applied linguistics. Before we start it, I will introduce the member of the group. My name is Stella Tiffany Zaldeku as the moderator and speaker 1, Camelia Zahra Alamsyah as speaker 2, and Yutima Ahlina Ridwan as speaker 3. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing we have to know about applied linguistics is the definition of it. Applied linguistics is the opposite of pure linguistics. It is a linguistic study in a bigger way and learning the outside or external of the language itself. This study is also most likely to be used in the real life, like the directly application in linguistics. For example, applied linguistics is being used to be the material for study of a language or being a tool for a studying methods in school. There are 3 scopes in applied linguistics. The first one is language learning that will be presented by me. The first study in language learning is first language acquisition. The language we acquire as a child is a subconscious process where we imitated the adult speakers like parents to say a word or even a sentence. First language acquisition started from babies to 7 or 8 years old children. This is also when we know and learn about the basic things in communicated with a language as kids. We usually call it mother tongue. Mother tongue is a mystery thing to be learned. It's just happened naturally without trying too hard. For example, if someone was born in Indonesia, she or he will use Indonesian language as first language with a certain dialect or accent. The second one is second language acquisition. A language besides the first language is a second language, and there is no limit how many languages you want to learn. Its process is a conscious state where someone's a grown up like teenagers or adults and ready to learn a new language. Second language acquisition is an optional choice. It can be happen when someone wanted to learn the language. Other than that, the language also can be learned if we live in a country where there are more than one language to be used and spoken. For example, a woman was born in Indonesia and used Indonesian language as the first language. Then, she is interested to learn other language but still from Indonesia. So, she decided to take a study in Japanese and make it a second language. The third one is foreign language acquisition. Foreign language acquisition is when someone feels the need to study about a certain language from different country because of some reason. Several people learn foreign language to be able to communicate with the others in their new environment. Like when you move into another country, you have to understand the language that be used by the native speaker in there. This acquisition also an optional choice. For example, an Indonesian decided to learn about English so she or he can use it when goes to the Western countries. The next one is language teaching that will be presented by speaker 2.
Next is language teaching. Language teaching is teaching people to speak and understand a foreign language. Language teaching related to foreign language or the second language. There are some kinds of teaching methods. First is direct method. In direct method, the learner is not allowed to use their mother tongue and grammar rules are avoided and there is emphasis on good pronunciation on this method. Next is grammar translation. On this method, grammar rules are to be memorized and long list of vocabulary learned. Next is audiolingual. The theory behind this method is that learning a language means acquiring habits, so there is much practice of dialogues of every situation here. The fourth is total physical response or TPR. TPR works by having the learner respond to simple commands such as close your book or open the window. Next is communicative language teaching or CLT. CLT focuses on the enable the learner to communicate effectively and appropriately in the various situations. The silent way. The aim of this method of teacher is to say as little as possible so the learner can be in control for what they want to say. Next is community language learning. This method builds strong personal links between teacher and student so there are no blocks to learning. Next is task-based language learning. This method focuses on the completion of tasks which in itself is interesting for the learners. And the last one is natural approach. On natural approach methods, there is no correction of mistakes. Learners learn the language based on what comprehensible to them. Next is TESOL. Teaching English to speakers of other language is one kind of language teaching. The TESOL is the method of the TESOL is teaching English to the native speakers of other language.
The last one is language testing that will be presented by speaker 3.
Language testing is the practice and study of evaluating the proficiency of an individual in using a particular language effectively. The purpose of language testing is to determine a person's knowledge and ability in the language. TOEFL, Test of English as Foreign Language. TOEFL is an English proficiency test for non-native speakers. TOEFL has various versions like 1. TOEFL IBT, International Best Test Text. 2. TOEFL PBT, Paper Based Text. 3. TOEFL ITP, Institutional Testing Program. TOEFL EBT is the most commonly preferred test. And also, TOEFL ITP used within institutional, but mainly for placement purpose. Now, TOEIC, Test of English International Communication. TOEIC refers to a test for work-based communication. TOEIC is English proficiency skill for people working in an international environment regular basis. There are 5 main tests in TOEIC: 1 reading, 2 listening, 3 writing, 4 speaking, and 5 bridge tests. Bridge test is a test are combined one main test each other. TOEIC verify non-native speaker to be able to carry out business in English. 3. IELTS. IELTS or International English Language Testing System. IELTS is international standard of testing in English language proficiency for non-native speaker. The purpose IELTS for assess the English language proficiency for non-native speaker. There are 2 certificate IELTS function. 1. IELTS Academy and 2. IELTS General Training.
So, that's all we've got to say. If you have any question, you can submit it in WhatsApp group chat. Thank you for watching.